Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Only Yo, episode number
12.
Right, 12.
and thank y'all for clicking. Be sure to subscribe and comment any other show y'all want me to do a recap on, and let's get straight into it. It opens up with Tawan coming in the house and staring at Mac. Son Claude is caught off guard. She arrived early. She stays quiet and continues to glare at Mac. Mac is annoyed because Tawan's presence has ruined the moment. Tawan slaps Mac. As always, his mom comes talking about how dare you slap my child. Tawan like you need to talk to your child. The cops come in to take Mac into the station. The mom again interjects herself into the situation asking what has my son done for you to take him in. Then Mac saying to Juan, what bullshit are you feeding them about me? The cops like bruh, the Watt sung like a canary saying you order him to abduct Ayla so the Nile would withdraw from the bed. Mac come with this old weak I didn't do it and wants Son Clark to believe the lie also saying the Watt did it himself. Now what reason would the Watt have for abducting Isla and trying to off the Nile? What would he gain from that? Be for real, Mac. Once he noticed Son Claude ain't taking the bait, he resorts to begging his mom for help. And of course, her being dizzy and never thinking rationally, she goes with it, even accusing them of framing Mac. She tries to have Son Claude help Mac, but he's beyond pissed right now. The cops take Mac in. This broad keep begging Son Claude to help Mac out. Son Claude just leaves her there to whine and cry about it. Tawan goes to check on her dad, who's tore up about this. He wants to know if Isla is doing alright. She like, yeah, Isla is safe. He's relieved until the wife comes in talk about why you stood there doing nothing and how could you let them take our son away. Son Claude is at his breaking point saying, the cops got evidence, dumbass, so how the hell is our son innocent? Furthermore, you need to stop spoiling him. That cuts her deep. She like, you said I spoiled Mick. You never believed or believed in him. Everything he does is wrong to you. He never been good enough for you. I'm like, cut the crocodile tears out, ma'am. You acting like Mick is the only child Son Claude got. You're mad cause your kid got caught for his crimes, not the actual people he affected. Both of y'all are trash, low key. She continues saying everything Tawan does is perfect in Songclaws' eyes. That's why you're letting Mac rot in jail, right? Songclaws like, girl, I don't do favoritism. I love both my kids. You the one hating on Tawan and cause Mac to hate on her too. Tawan leaves while they argue. Tawan is now in her room with Ayla. Ayla begins to ask questions because she knows Tawan is ruminating on all the events that had occurred, asking, you can't sleep? Is it because you're dad? Tawan saying this is the very first time I've seen him cry, even though I swear I didn't see no tear. But anyway, she continues saying Mech's case could shake the board of directors and destroy the company's credibility. So if my dad can't fix this, TS Construction will cease to exist. Jump back to Song Claude. He's getting word that the case for Mech is horrible because the evidence is concrete. They found several money transfers from Mech to the Watt. The total is in the tens of millions. It's a new day, and Song Claude wants the termination papers drawn up for the current project. His assistant, I don't know his name, is like, if we go through this, the penalty fee will be astronomical. Song Claude tells him, I don't care how much it is, we'll pay it back with Tawan, and Typhoon tells her everything that was shown previously in the last scenes. TS Construction has pulled out of their current project. Ayla overhears that and says to Tawan, your dad must have thought it through before deciding. We're in a flashback. We see Tawan get a call from the company. The assistant says, ever since the incident with Mac, Son Claude ain't been himself. He's been a no-show for meetings, signing paperwork, and site visits. We're at a loss as to what we should do. He continues talking, saying the wife stepped in, but honestly, shit gotten worse. Out of the flashback, Tawan enters the home. Son Claude talking about, oh, you had time to come see me? Tawan like, you not going to work? Son Claude tells her all he wanted was to build the company for the future of both his kids. However, with all this ambition and fighting, was it even worth it? Wealth, assets, it was all traded for family. I'm like, no, it wasn't worth it. It cost you your credibility, and in the end, your child is in jail. So no. Tawan asks if she were to help the company, would you teach me? Son Claude like, don't even waste your time on a company that's two steps from glory. The assistant is going over the plans with the workers when Tawan comes in offering to help the company. He wastes no time and gives her the company reports. Mac's mom walking in all smug and in shock when Tawan is there. Even her team is helping save this company. I'm like, find some loyal people like this, because I would have took at least 3 days off if Tawan hit me and slapped me up like she did Typhoon in the last episode. But good on them, good on them. Tawan is working hard and in and out of meetings. I don't know, maybe she ain't ready to enter the field yet because she was injured. When she gets a call from Ayla, she want to know if Tawan is on her way home. She finna go to sleep. Tawan's like, nah, I'm still working. Ayla can't believe Tawan still ain't done. Tawan tells her she trying to complete the backlog, so she'll be late. Ayla says, wow, your first day and you already working hard. Tawan want to know if Ayla is upset with her for not picking her up. Isla's like, nah, I'm not. I understand. Tawan talk about my girlfriend is the sweetest. Isla says, okay, I won't bother you no more. Get back to work. It's a new day, and Tawan is apologizing to Dana for Mac's actions and tells him it's in the law's hands now. I want to know what she's sorry for. She ain't had nothing to do with his criminal activity, so why is she apologizing? Dana asked the same exact question. Why are you apologizing for him? What kind of man raises a son like that? Dawan says she's speaking on behalf of her dad and the family. I promise you, my dad ain't have a clue what Mech was doing. Dana calls bullshit and want to know how Tawan is so sure Song Cloud wasn't involved. Tawan's like, if he was, he wouldn't have just dropped the latest project, which cost the company millions. She continues, my dad feels sick and devastated by what has happened. Dana knows Tawan is buttering him up and just want to know what she wants for real. Tawan talking about, I can't ask you to forgive my dad. However, I'm still willing to protect Isla for the rest of my life. She continues, I can only hope that my sincerity can begin to make amends for the failure of my family. And I like, Son Claude, better be glad to have a daughter like you. Tawan and Isla are poolside. Isla is relieved that her dad has forgiven both Tawan and Son Claude. Tawan saying they know each other well enough. Dana finally believes my dad didn't play a part in this debacle. Tawan tells her if it wasn't for bad blood, we could have met a long time ago. Isla's like, you're right. Tawan says, well, we found each other. Isla makes a promise to keep finding Tawan in every lifetime. Tawan kisses her forehead, says, I gladly let you find me. Now they make out. Back to Song Claude again, and a guy is telling him that Mech's case is cooked, then leaves. The wife is leaving when all of a sudden Tawan pulls up. The wife talk about congratulations, you got everything you wanted, the company's on Claude and the home. The one's like, I'm not taking advantage, nor am I trying to steal from anyone. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And I don't think I would have done this, especially since Tawan's been expressing she hasn't no desire to work for TS Construction. But okay, Tawan said, when Mech returns, I'll give everything back. The house belongs to you, Saint Claude, and Mech, not me. The wife ain't say a damn thing and just walks away. Tawan goes to see her dad cause she got papers for him to sign since she's helping with the company. Now Saint Claude is wondering the same thing I am. Why? Tawan says cause she doesn't want to see everything fall apart, then tells him that this time Dana will forgive him. Then she says, Dana told me to tell you, hopefully you'll finally reflect and learn something. Saint Claude chuckles a little and thanks Tawan, then admits he's been a horrible dad because he never protected or took care of Tawan. All because he didn't want her fighting with Mac no more. He continues to talk about, I forced myself to send you to Hong Kong. Side note, now sir, you did that because you probably felt guilty for cheating on your wife with Tawan's mom and wanted to appease your wife because she constantly brings up the fact that Tawan is a mistress child. But anyway, Song Claude tells her that she's always been his pride. He apologizes for making Tawan suffer and wants one more chance. Tawan goes and holds his hand and he thanks her. Tawan takes Ayla to her dad's house. Ayla asks, are you sure your dad won't kick me out the house? Tawan's like, I'm here with you. You ain't gotta be afraid. Ayla introduces herself to Saint Claude and gives him a bag of vitamins. That's so random. I don't understand. He tells her to refer to him as uncle and thanks her for the vitamins. He says sorry to Ayla for talking out the side of his neck the first time that they met. Ayla's like, it's okay. My dad wasn't exactly gentle either. Saint Claude finally admits it was him who betrayed her dad. I'm like, damn, Saint Claude, you need to re-examine your choices. You cheated on your wife, you betrayed Dana, and sent Tawan to live in another country. Bruh, who the fuck raised you? He talked about your dad and I were friends and business partners, but then I got greedy. So I set up my own company, then found out how much Dana put up in the bid. so I could undercut him and win the bid. In the end, the company collapsed and I pulled my shares so it couldn't impact me. That's some diabolical work, Son Claude. That's sick. That's real nasty work. Tawan is like, I'm glad you finally admitted the truth. Son Claude apologizes to Ayla for Mac's behavior and the harm he caused her and Dana. Ayla tells Son Claude not to blame himself because she and Dana are safe now. Plus, Tawan takes good care of her. Cut to Tawan and Ayla in front of Tawan's treehouse. Ayla, like, I've secured my spot as the future daughter-in-law. Tawan says, rest assured, I've never given that title to anyone. Ayla talking about, let's get married then. I want to marry you. Tawan is caught off guard and wants Ayla to pump the brakes because she's the one that's supposed to be asking for her hand. Ayla's like, I don't care which one of us asks, the result is what matters. So we getting married or not? Tawan tells her, yeah, we is. However, your dad won't storm the wedding, right? Ayla like, damn, you ruined the mood. Tawan then says, hopefully he softens his heart now. Ayla is back at work rehearsing for the concert. Also, I love how they added more real footage from the actual concerts that they put on. It's an A plus for me. Ayla and her dad are eating when suddenly he asks about Tawan's whereabouts because he ain't seen her lately. Ayla like, oh, so you miss her. She says Tawan has been extremely busy since she's working at both companies. Dana says, well, I signed several checks for her bodyguard services, but her company hasn't picked up the checks. Ayla talk about Tawan won't take the checks because protecting me is her duty as a good girlfriend. And if Tawan can't be here, she'll send the whole team. Ayla is now walking to greet her fans when Tawan appears. Ayla is overjoyed because she knew Tawan said she couldn't make it. Tawan is watching Ayla rehearse. After Ayla is finished with rehearsing, Tawan sits with her. Ayla suggests Tawan sits in the front row to see Ayla clearly. Tawan like, don't you think that that's a waste of my potential as a bodyguard? Ayla says, I just want to sing for you. That's always been a dream of mine. She continues with, will you sit here and watch over me while I'm singing? Tawan's talk about she got a big meeting regarding a major project that she can't miss. Ayla says, that's a shame. Tawan is sorry. Ayla's like, you ain't do nothing wrong. Just wish me luck, please. Tawan says, you got this. Jump to Tawan in the meeting and she's stressing because she want to be there to support Ayla. Ayla is ready backstage and asks if Tawan has arrived yet. Y'all like, nah, not yet. It's showtime and Ayla is performing when Tawan comes just in time to see her with flowers in hand. Ayla is killing it when all of a sudden she stops singing and freezes a little bit. Tawan and the team notices. Ayla pushes through though and finishes the performance. Tawan ushers her off stage into the room to give her some oxygen, but she quickly fades, and that's the end of episode 12 of Only You. Y'all, the last part of this episode had me shook just a little bit. What the hell happened to Ayla? Was it one of them haters that did this? I don't know. Mick need to be jailed for at least 25 years because people lost their life all because he wanted to prove to Song Claude he was capable of winning a bid, which he was not anyway. I'm glad Song Claude came clean about him fucking over Dana and being a shitty friend, father, and husband. But that's all, y'all. Subscribe and share for more of my content. Be safe out here, y'all. Later.